In this lesson, we are going to look at the concept of bearings. So bearings are angles that we measure clockwise. Very important, we measure clockwise from the north line. And so the question that we are looking at now is the bearing of B from A is 126 degrees. So the bearing of B from A. So now when we say B from A, we mean the angle should be at A. And so the angle here, 126 degrees, is at A. And so the question says calculate the bearing of A from B. And so what we do is we can draw this diagram again when we are answering the question. We draw the diagram again to help us find the solution. So we are going to have our diagram here north. And then we have 126 degrees. Okay, so this is A and this is B. So the question says calculate the bearing of A from B. So you're going to B, you go to B, and then at B you go and draw a north. So let me use another color here to show you. So you're going to draw a north at B. So a north is a line like this one which goes high up. So it will go up like this at B. Right at the end where B is, you have a north. Okay, so this is our line, and that's the way we draw it. And so that line is going to help us to find the angle that is being asked. So calculate the bearing of A from B. So at B here, while you are at B here, the angle that you are measuring, remember we measure clockwise from the north. So from the north here, we are going to measure clockwise. So clockwise, you go this way, you move clockwise up to here. Okay, so that is the angle that we are finding. When we say A from B, and when you measure from the north, you have to end at the line that joins A and B. So this is the angle that we are finding. So there are two ways of finding this angle. You can first start by finding the inside angle here. This angle, we can find this angle that I've shaded red by subtracting 180 degrees minus 126 degrees, because these two angles here, 126 degrees and the angle that I've shaded red, are known as co-interior angles. So they add up to 180. So when you do 180 minus 126 degrees, you are going to end up with 54 degrees. And then since you have 54 degrees and this is a circle, the angles in a circle make up 360 degrees. So you say therefore the bearing of A from B will be equal to 360 degrees minus 54 degrees, which is going to give us 306 degrees. And that will be our bearing for this question. But there's a second method that you can use here, and the second method is this. So we'll say method number 2. Method number 2. Okay, so we are going to have method number 2 here. So method number 2, when you have a north and another north here, you have alternating angles, or angles in a Z. So alternating angles, I'm going to show which ones are alternating angles here. So you have this 126 degrees here, and also this angle from the red line here going all the way up to that green line there. So the 126 degrees and also this angle that I've marked red here, these two are alternating. So you have 126 here, it means even this one is 126. From the red line up to there, this is 126. But this line that we drew here, the red line, is a straight line. So therefore from here all the way up to here, this is 180 degrees. So you can add 180 plus 126. So you're going to have 180 plus 126, which will give you 306 degrees. So these are the two methods that you can use. So we are going to end here for this lesson. Thank you very much. in this video we are going to continue looking at bearings. So here is a question on bearings. In the diagram below, the bearing of C from B is 130 degrees, so we can see 130 degrees here, and AB is equal to BC, so AB is equal to BC. So we have an isosceles triangle here. Two sides are equal. Calculate the size of the angle ABC. Okay, so we are going to calculate the size of the angle ABC. Let us first draw the diagram here. So here is our diagram. North, okay, so we have A here, B here, 130 here, and then you have C here. Okay, so the way you calculate the size of the angle ABC, this angle here, is you extend this north line inside the diagram. So when you extend it like this, okay, so now we have a straight line here, and since from here up to here you have this angle as 130 degrees, you can also find this inside the angle here. Okay, that angle can be found there, and the way you find that angle there is by subtracting 180 minus 130, because this is a straight line and angles on a straight line add up to 180. So 180 minus 130 will give us 50 degrees. And so for us to find the whole angle ABC, which is from here up to there, we are going to notice one thing. If these two sides are equal, then it means even these two angles inside are equal. So we are going to have 50 here, just like we had 50 here. So therefore, angle ABC will be equal to 50 plus 50, which is equal to 100 degrees. And so this is our answer for the first question. And then now we can go to question 2. Okay, so this is question 1 here. Let's go to question 2. So in question 2 here, the question is asking us to find the bearing. So we are going to draw again here. Let us draw again. It's always important to draw when you are answering these questions. Okay, so here is our triangle. This side is equal to that one. You have A here, you have B, you have C, 130 degrees here. Okay, so the question is saying, calculate the bearing of B from C. Calculate the bearing of B from C. So you are going to C, and then at C you are going to draw a north. So we'll come here at C. Here at C, we'll draw a north, a line that goes up like that. It doesn't matter how long it is. Okay, as long as you draw it here at C. So that is our north. And then now we are going to mark the angle that we are supposed to calculate. So the angle that we are supposed to find, or the bearing here at C, is going to be this angle here. So from the north, clockwise is this way, all the way up to there. So this is the angle that we are finding. So you are going to end here at this line, because we are talking about B and C. So B is here, C is here. So it's this line that we are talking about. So from the north here, you go all the way up to that line. So now we have to think of how to calculate that angle there. Okay, so the easiest way that we can use is to find this angle inside here. When we find this angle, we are going to subtract the answer from 360. So for us to find this angle, we are going to subtract 130 from 180. So we are going to have 180 minus 130, which will give us 50 degrees. So this angle that I've shaded red here is 50 degrees. So therefore, the bearing is going to be 360 minus 50 degrees, which is going to give us 310 degrees. So the bearing of B from C is 310 degrees. So we come to the third question, which says calculate the bearing of A from C. So calculating the bearing of A from C, we are going to draw the diagram again. So we are going to draw the diagram again. We'll draw the diagram again here. It's always important to draw. So you have a north there and then a triangle here. Our triangle here, this line is equal to that line there. So here we have B, here we have A, here we have C, and we have our 130 degrees here. Okay, so the question says calculate the bearing of A from C. So it's A from C. So you go at C, you go and draw a north. So right here at C, we are going to draw a straight line going up like that. This is a north. You can extend it down there. Okay, so with this north that we have, now we can label the angle that we are calculating. And so our angle is always from the north clockwise all the way up to that line there. Remember, we are calculating the bearing of A from C. So the line that connects A and C is this one. So we'll end here. So this is the one that we are finding. Okay, so in this diagram that we have, for us to find this angle, we need to find this angle here that I've shaded green, which we have already found, and also another one that I'm going to shade here, which is this one here. I'll shade it with the red ink, red here. So we are going to calculate these two angles, the red angle and the green angle. That will be the first step that we are going to do. And so for the green angle, we've already found it. We found this green angle. It's actually here. It's actually here. This 50 degrees that we found here. So we have 50 here. So all we need now is to find the red angle. Remember, we found this angle here. We found it to be 100. Here it is. In the first question, we have it as 100. So since this is an isosceles triangle, it means that this angle here and this one are the same. So what you are going to do is you are going to subtract 180 minus 100, since this is a triangle, which will give you 80. And this 80 is for both this angle and that one there. So you divide by 2 to find what each of these are. So you are going to have 40 degrees. So here you have 40, even here you have 40. Okay, so already here you can see that we have 50 and 40. So we can add these two. We are going to have 40 plus 50, which will give us 90 degrees. So the whole angle from here up to there is 90 degrees. And so for us to find our bearing now, we are going to say, therefore, the bearing of A from C is equal to 360, since here we have a circle, degrees minus 90 degrees, which will give us 270 degrees as our bearing of A from C. So thank you very much for paying attention. This is where we end.